Welcome to the Any Given Chance podcast. Stories about passion and sacrifice. What actually goes on behind the scenes in the consistent chase of everything. We're going to bring you some untold stories, some of people you know, some of people you don't. These stories that we bring on with our guests are nothing short of inspiring and will get you out there chasing your own goals as well. Join me, your host, 3am 365, Matty Menyon, as we dive into these incredible stories. And of course, as the podcast grows, so do we together. So stick with us from the start, hit that like and share, subscribe button, get your family and friends involved, and we'll see where we are in 100 podcasts. No days off, no excuses. Massive shout out to our sponsor, Squad Athletica. Guys, this training gears, you got the training singlets, the shirts, they've got absolutely everything. They've got the 12-inch shorts, the 16, everything that you need for the running. It doesn't stop there. They've got yoga mats, they've got drink bottles, they've got you covered at all bases. I'm telling you, this training gear is rivaling Nike, it's rivaling Under Armour, it's at the forefront. And the best thing about it is it's right here on the Gold Coast. So support a local business. You can jump over to their Instagram. It's at SQD Athletica, or you can jump online and check out their shop, Squad Athletica. Go through, select your little things, what you want to buy, new hoodies for winter, whatever training gear you need, and then type in your AGC code at the end, which will give you a little discount. That's AGC in the little coupon code. Can't thank you enough, and make sure you get out there and get in your squad gear. Woo! Big shout out to one of our sponsors, Black Rose Barbers. That's right. Go see Liam and the boys over at Black Rose Barbers. They're located on Lakeview Boulevard over at Mermaid Waters, right in between the Good Life and the 7-Eleven. Walk out of there feeling $1,000,000. The boys can cut hair, and he even does the cutthroat razor if you want to feel really fresh and fit on a Friday. You can book online at blackrose.com, or you can get on the phone and give them a call, but go support your local business. And the best thing about Black Rose Barber, you can sit in that chair and talk maximum amount of crap. You know why? Because the boys have got the answers. They'll solve the world's problems with you. I'm telling you now, they're a bunch of legends. Go support them. Tell them Matty from AGC sent you. Here we are. Join the squad team, mate.
Sounds good. I'll return one back with the Team Andy shirt, hey?
Thank you.
That sound double XL, hopefully.
Yeah, well done. This is why I got one left over, because there's only a couple of double XLs out there.
That's it.
Any Given Chance podcast. Welcome. Podcast about passion and sacrifice, what goes on behind the scenes, that mental game and everything. I'm here with one of the boys here, Joshua Nantes.
That's it, mate.
So what we're going to dive into today is basically, you guys have been in the process for a lot longer than other people. And from my perspective is you've got a plan, and it's just everything I see about is there's nothing, there's no chink in the armor or where you want to go. It's just that I'm playing the long game and we're going to get there. So I really want to dive into that mentality and, go in about all that. But just to start off, mate, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone sort of listening out there? Tell them what you do and sort of what division that you're fighting in as well.
Yeah, so I'm a boxer based on the Gold Coast, obviously. So we are now. I live around the Coolangatta area. I fight at 72.5 middleweight divisions. Between 72.5 middleweight and super middleweight. So I'm happy to go between both divisions, depending on fights. Go to my second pro fight on the 24th of June down at the Mantra on View in Surfers Paradise, the Jamie Meyer production. He always puts on a good show, so it'd be good to come down, and if anyone can come down and support, it'd be great. Yeah,
he's the number one.
Probably promoter on the coast. He does it well because he understands the Gold Coast community in a way. He's grown up around the area. He puts on a good show based on the market he's trying to target, which is Gold Coast people. So he does well around there. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm just excited to put on another clinic and a show and just show everyone, what I've been working on consistently for years and years and years. Yeah, that's it. So your first fight, round 3, round 3 TKO.
Yeah, stoppage. Yeah. But like I said, I also watched highlights of that, and I watched highlights of your brothers, and you guys are at another level. I know that you're going through the process of let's just get this experience, let's get that fight and that fight, and I understand that, and that's great. But you guys have been in it for a very long time. How long have you been back boxing? How long have you been doing it?
I walked into Palm Beach Boxing Club actually when I was about 17.
Yeah.
I reckon I'm 24 now.
Yeah.
So I actually walked in at 103 kilos. I was playing a lot of footy, a lot of rugby union. Love my footy. Love when I was young. Love my footy. Love my cricket. And got in there. Within 3 months, I thought, nah, stuff this. I'm doing boxing. I
Yeah.
loved it. Fell in love with it straight away. I've come from a bit of a martial arts background. Like my dad, he did a lot of Muay Thai. He owned about 4 Muay Thai and freestyle karate dojos.
Yeah.
When he was a bit younger, when I was born, sort of got to 2 or 3, sort of sold it up and decided to focus more on the business, earn some money. I'm one of 6 kids, so you need to start making a bit of flow for the family, not donating so much time to his martial arts. So I walked into Palm Beach Crummer Boxing gym at 103 kilos. Within 3 months, I fought at 63.
Wow.
Yeah, 63 kilos. I was always one of those, fit people. I trained every day. Footy, cricket, something like that. Trapped into fat guys, I just love food and I ate the wrong foods. But as soon as I had the mindset that I want to change this, the weight just dropped off me.
Yeah.
There's no problem losing weight. So,
mate,
a lot of weight.
That's 40 kilos.
Yeah, that's a big boy.
That's 10 kilos or more in a month, every month. 2.5 kilos a week.
Just train. It was funny, I was at school at the time and we were sort of relocating from Brisbane to the Gold Coast. So I wasn't at school much, but every chance I got, I always made sure that when we were doing the packing and the moving, that we'd pack the Brisbane house in the morning, so I was down on the Gold Coast for training in the afternoon. I told Dad that's the only chance I'm moving down the coast as long as I'm back training for the afternoon every hour. So it was funny, some of my mates at school didn't see me for about 2 months because I was moving during the day and training at night, and I come back to school about 30 kilos lighter and they didn't recognise it. They didn't know who I was.
Wow.
Like, mate, are you all right? Like,
are you dying?
Yeah,
you got a disease?
Are you eating or something? I was like, no, I'm just training.
What clicked? I mean, not many 17-year-old lads that clicks for them then.
What clicked is I looked at the heavyweight division, honestly, and I was at the time, I was a late bloomer. I didn't really grow much until I was about 18, 19.
Yeah.
So I was always about, I was pretty small. I was probably about 5'8", 5'9", about 6 foot now.
Yeah.
But I didn't grow much until I was quite late. So I looked at it and I said, I can't fight in this heavyweight division. And I just wasn't big enough. Not that I was scared. I don't fear any man.
No.
But I just thought, I'm carrying excess weight. Let's get fit. So I just dropped the weight, and the coach says, "What do you want to fight at?" And I said, "I'll fight at 63."
So it was.
He goes, "You want to make 63?"
It was legit for boxing.
Yeah.
So it wasn't anything else.
Nah.
As soon as you walked into that boxing gym, you're like, I want to be a boxer. This is what I'm going to do. But I don't want to fight at that division. So this is the reason why I'm going to start training.
It was funny, man, because I was already talking big picture in my head to friends at school on what I wanted to do, and they were like, I was always that, he's that boxer guy, that weird, he's got his jam. I was like, nah, man, this is what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? I still feel like that. I'm still that kid. Yeah. This is what I want to do. I'm not at where I want to be anyway. I've got years to go to where I want to be.
Yeah.
But I'm that kid where I'm thinking, this is what I want. This is what I'm going to chase. I've known that since I walked into that gym till now. And there's been, sacrifices and, I've learned what I need to do along the journey, and I'm still learning. I've still got, mentality-wise, and what I need to put in place, and what comes first in my life, all that sort of aspects. I'm still learning, but I've still got the same, overall goal. And this is what I want to do, and this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I love when people say, "No, you're not."
Yeah,
that's great,
mate.
Tell me that.
And at your age, like you said, you're 24 now. Mm-hmm. So not only are you navigating your boxing career, but you're also navigating transitioning into being a man.
Oh, sure, man.
Being a protector, provider, and like you said, you're still learning. Yeah. You're still trying to understand that. But boxing has obviously taken up a lot of your time.
It does. I now, it's taken me, not taken me a while, but the way I look at it is boxing is what comes first in my life, and everything else works around that. Yeah. So whether work works, if work doesn't fit with that, work goes. Yeah. If what the people I'm hanging out with doesn't fit with that, sorry, man. Yeah. You go. Okay. You know what I mean?
I 100% agree with that. Exactly the same. When I was playing rugby league, that was it. I worked so I could play rugby league.
That's what I said. I said to my coach the other day, I said, I work so I can train. Yeah. I work so I can train. If work doesn't fit in, sometimes obviously, things get in the way and you get caught in the crossroads and you get a bit, for a week, you're stressed out because, I'm in a bit of a partnership with a guy when it comes to carpentry work. Yeah. We work together. My brother, Lockie, he works with me as well. Another guy from the gym works with me. Sometimes my coach jumps on board, works with me. So it's a good little group that we've got, but sometimes I stress out because we've got to we've got things that we've got to get done, but I've got training I've got to do. I've got to go somewhere for training. I've got to fight, you know what I mean? And I'm like, sometimes I just need to sit back and think, you know what? Stuff this, man.
Yeah.
This stuff is not my priority. My priority is my training, and that's what I want. It takes sacrifice. Relationships you lose, jobs you lose. You annoy people, but you got to be selfish sometimes.
Especially in this sort of sport, mate. I can't agree more. I'm a victim of my own craziness and want. I have dedication, and I can zone in on something and hyper focus on it, and I put a lot of attention and depth into it. But then I'll try and do that with the same level for 2 or 3 things, and it just does not work, and I end up breaking down.
Yeah, sure.
Or one thing fails.
Yeah, 100%.
And it just can't work. So, like you said, so you're still working 8 hours a day as a chippy.
Yeah, currently, not every day, but like I'm still working. Obviously, it's become a lot more flexible. Like I was working for people, and I sort of noticed I'm like, this isn't working.
No,
I can't. There's days where I'm not getting to work till 12 o'clock because I'm up in Brisbane sparring, or I'm not doing this, and so now I've sort of just subcontract out. I'm trying to get to the point which pray to God that we can pick up sponsors, and I can get to the point where I'm donating 100% of my time into this craft because this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if I can, build that team around me where they're allowing me to train, boost their team through social media or through other avenues, and just helping me achieve this goal and going together. I'm excited.
I can't believe that it clicked. Because like I said, when I was a 17-year-old, I wanted to be a rugby league player. I wanted to be a surfer. I always had boxing in the back of my head. I used to get up in the morning and see the US fights. They used to be on like 2 a.m. in the morning or something like that. And I used to watch them put their wraps on. And I always used to just think like, I just want to do that. I just want to put the wraps on and walk into the boxing ring and everything like that. And mate, I actually didn't get that feeling or didn't understand what it was till maybe like after when I was 30. I had one amateur, by no means any good boxer, still learning. But for me, it's good because everything I learn now is fresh in that. That's exactly right. But for you to know that straight out of the gate, I guess that comes into what we're going to drive into now is a path and playing the long game and that mentality of the long game from day one. So you also said you come from a big family.
Yeah,
so
I'm on 6.
6.
So there's one girl, she's the oldest, and then there's 5 boys after that.
Where do you sit?
I'm the second oldest, so I'm the oldest boy.
Yeah.
So just behind my sister, and then Lockie, my brother, he's next. We got Ben, Sam, and Isaac.
So call your dad if anyone needs a boy. You can't miss.
He's
had 5.
So boy too.
Yeah. Wow, man, that's So, was there competition? Obviously, growing up.
Oh, for sure.
Younger brothers.
It's funny, man, because everyone always says I eat real quick.
Yeah.
And they say the same thing to Locke, and it's like, you don't eat quick in that film, you don't get seconds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we're all like, Sam, he's 6'3", 120 kilos, a big boy. Locke's not small like this. He walks around 84 or so. So Ben's big too. So if you don't eat quick, you don't get seconds.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So it was always like that.
It is competitive, man. Like, it's different as you got older. Like, you train alongside your brothers and stuff like that. So, like, now Isaac still boxes, the youngest, me and Locke. So train alongside them. It's good, but it's not.
So Sammy's not doing it anymore.
Nah, Sammy's just working. He's working hard. Yeah. So.
Wow, because I had a couple of spars with him in there. He could hit.
Bro, he could hit. I remember when I was still like, maybe I was into my 15th or so amateur fight, and my old coach used to get Sam in there because it was a big body sort of thing. He goes, you get him in there sort of as my last spar.
Yeah,
it's a big body sort of thing, and you can sort of work around him and hit him a lot, but you just got to be wary. He hit me with a right hand one day, and I said, Tom, don't you ever get me in there. He goes, what do you mean? I said, well, you can get me in there with him, but I'm saying I may not fight next week.
Yeah.
Because that dude can hit.
Yeah, I remember exactly that. Like I think it was like only the round 3, and I was buggered. Ran in the morning, surfed all day, and all right, jump in with Sammy, Matty. Fuck, here we go. Like I'm only like I said, just getting back into it and all that. Yeah, thinking I'm moving well and all that, and then all of a sudden he just goes straight right bang.
Quick for a big boy too, isn't he?
Straight into the middle of the gut, and I was like, and then he started walking. I was like, no. I was going on my knees, like scrubbing.
He's not the dude on the street you want to walk up to.
But and mate, a great bloke. So
Oh,
shout out to your
legend,
brother.
legend.
Yeah, mate. But yeah, it's weird that he didn't stick. with it.
He's sort of going to his work with his dad. So.
It's also weird, like you said, like your father comes from a martial arts background, and I was about to ask before you said that, well, how come you guys like didn't live and breathe it? And it's because he stopped it when you were like 2 or 3 to have family and go into that. So because I'm a product of my father, so he had me really young as well. He had me when he was 20. Mum was 18. So I was a backpack kid, which was the best because I went everywhere. I still got to watch Dad play football. I was the sand boy. I was the ball boy at every game till he was like 30, 33. Plus, we lived at the beach every day. So surfing. I got to surf, 4 hours a day every day, and then I got to go to training with Dad at night, and then I got to, be ball boy for 3 games in the weekend and earn me 50 cents off the old boy who used to pay you. So, like, for me, it was entrenched in my blood. And being around it, that's all I wanted to do. So it was a bit strange. Maybe it was like in your DNA. You know what I mean? Like even though you weren't in and around it that whole time, as soon as you got that opportunity, it was like light bulb. This is me.
Definitely, no, for sure. And I've always spoken to Dad. Like, don't get me wrong. Like when we were younger and stuff, like Dad just took us outside. We used to do pads in. We'd do that every Tuesday, Thursday. We did it for years. Yeah. But. Yeah, it's funny. Like as soon as I don't think after the first session I went to, I don't think I've missed a day since. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like unless I've been told to. Yeah, I don't
go home, slow down, mate.
Unless my coach says you need a rest, I don't. Like I'm in the gym 7 days a week, all year round. It's no like I'm not in camp. I'm constantly in camp. Yeah, so I'm not doing my 8 weeks, having my 3 weeks off, getting back into an 8-week camp. No, I'm in camp. I'm ready to go. You can call me in 2 weeks before a fight because I've already done that whole. Yeah. I've done a camp. You know what I mean? I'm not out. I'm never out. I'm constantly progressing in my boxing to improve because I want to be an all-round good martial artist. Yeah. I love the sport. When I first started, I really loved the fitness side of it. And I love the feeling of getting in there, hitting that bag hard, and working hard, feeling fit, feeling good about myself. But now I really love the technical side of boxing and what boxing brings and the art form.
And I'm starting to see that within myself just training. So I've been training back on for about 3 or 4 years now. So I always say this, and I said this when I first met you, it doesn't matter what you want to do. I always think a 10-year plan and you're going to be an expert at something. You might not be the best in the world at it after 10 years, but you're going to be pretty goddamn good. Yeah. 1 and 2, you're sort of figuring it out. 3 to 5 years, you're learning the craft. And then 5 to 10 is where you get expert and understand. Sure. So I'm at that stage now where I'm starting to see game plans and I'm starting to understand why, and watching Lomachenko stand on his foot and why is he getting just to the right side or what's this person doing?
It's a science.
Oh, mate. And because I could pull a rugby league game apart. Yes. We're going here. This is the reason why we're going here. And then that bloke's going to shoot in here. And when he does that, I'm going out the back and we're going to put 4 points on in the corner. Yeah. And there's reasons and purposes to that. But if you're not a fighter and you're not a boxer and you're not been in it for as long as you boys have, you can't see that. Like going to watching a fight is pure, and this is the levels of boxing crowd. There's corporate, there's money, there's professionalism, and there's fucking kill him, Rocky's fucking head off, mum in the background loving her. So, but and that's entertainment. So
it is, and it's funny, man, because I don't want to be that fighter. Yeah, you know how you go to a fight and you watch these two blokes and they're just going at it. And don't get me wrong, it's a fan-friendly fight. Yes. And it's a brawl. And I love watching it as a spectator. But I don't want to be that one. No. I want to be that guy who, this fight looks like a mismatch. Yes. Do you know what I mean? Every fight, that's how I want to fight. This fight's a mismatch. Well, it's not a mismatch. No, this dude's just clinical. Yeah. And how he goes with his plan. He's clinical. And he executes. And educated execution is what I want every single fight.
Yeah. Just watching you. And watching those highlights, and you can see the person that you're fighting. He was in there, and he's like, I know how to throw him. And then there's zone, eyes to your face, hands. This is what's going to happen next. Bang, that's control. Yeah. Everything process. Don't care if I get hit. The only way that it seemed like there was going to be any trouble or anything like that was if for some stupid reason you were like, oh, there's a butterfly, which was never going to happen. You know what I mean? Or something like that. And that's where I see you boys sticking to the process. And this is what I say, consistently over and over and over and over again on the podcast is process. Even in my socials and life, long game, process.
Doesn't happen overnight.
It doesn't happen. Play the 10-year game. Everybody in social media always wants it now. They always want the big money over here, the this over there. Oh, I wish I had a car. Like I still drive around in $2,000 cars outside, and I had to work my absolute ass off to get where I am within business and to get this podcast and everything like that. That was by no short ever presented to me.
No.
I've been bankrupt twice, nearly bankrupt. I've lost everything. Watched repo men come around, take my cars, had to start again twice, you know? So that, it is.
You know, you got a young family now too, you know? So it's not just yourself you're
No.
worried about leaving bankrupt. You've got to fight, you know, you've got dependents.
That's right. But that process, I always had trust in okay, well, if I just keep ticking over, something will present itself, and then it's up to me to take that opportunity. So this is where you guys are at now as well. Like, where are you training at now? Because I know you did, when I met you were with Tommy Glover.
Yep.
And
Great coach. Yeah. Lovely guy. Great, get along great with Tom. I just needed a bit more.
Yeah.
Okay. I just needed people who can like dedicate hours and film. So I'm training at Twicey boxing gym with some great coaches. They've got a great team around me.
Yeah.
We're all on the same mentality and the same track.
Yeah.
So it's good.
I see a lot of what you do is always slow and repetition.
We love fundamentals, you know. I personally think that is where I improve the best.
Yeah.
If I'm doing my fundamentals correctly, it doesn't matter about the sparring that I've had in the camp. It doesn't matter about the hard workouts, those bag sprints, those hill sprints. If my fundamentals are correct, that's when I feel like I'm boxing at my best.
Yeah. So
constantly focusing on my fundamentals, keep rehashing it, have good sparring sessions, back to my fundamentals, back to the jab. Back to, simple footwork drills, because that's where I'll improve my most.
What is that? So for people who aren't fighters or listening at home, what's your fundamentals? What do you go back to? I mean, I know you mentioned the jab.
Yeah, simple footwork and jabs and just the art of boxing itself. You can like breaking down what works, and where you need to move and the positions you need to be in. Do you know what I mean?
So then when it happens, it doesn't even think. You just do it.
I just do it like second nature, like anything. So you just got to it's like anything. If you want to be a good surfer, you've got to practice that. You got to practice the simplicity. Getting up on the board, that's the first thing. You cannot surf a wave if you can't get up on board.
Correct.
So you've got to practice that get up. You got to practice that get up. Saying you cannot be good at boxing if you can't jab.
Yeah. So
you've got to practice that. You've got to practice that. You got to practice that. Doesn't matter about all those rounds you do and all the fancy stuff. You've got to practice the simplicity. Yeah. Otherwise, you are never going to make it to the top.
Yeah.
You look at world champions. You look at someone like Floyd Mayweather. All right, so you could say in the modern era, he's probably the most successful boxer that has been. Just for the fact that, and the one thing that makes him so successful is you look at him after his fights. The damage he takes, it's so minimal.
Yes.
So half of the sport. This is going to make the sport sound really, really simple. Half of the sport is about not getting hit.
Yeah.
The other half of the sport is about hitting. So if you're getting hit, right, and still hitting, you're missing out on 50% of what the sport is.
Yeah.
You need to not get hit. So focusing on, longevity, being defensively sound, and then focusing on then implementing my attack plan is what we work on.
Yeah, right.
So it's just longevity. I'm really big on longevity.
Yeah.
One shot in a sparring session in fight is too many.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and I'm not saying I'm in no means perfect at that yet.
Yeah.
But I'm getting better and better every day, and that's just through hard work and through the fundamentals.
Exactly what you said. No one, or not no one, but I think when you look at boxing or everything like that, especially like I'm going through that with Ellie now, like I want him to box. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, he's going to get punched in the head the whole time. And I'm like, no, that's what everyone thinks. But it's not. Like if you put all this work into the defense and the science of it and rolling and understanding where they're coming, I make it 100% more safer apart from that one shot, but more than rugby league.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
Because rugby league is that
the collision. And also with rugby league, it's the thing you've got to watch out for in boxing is the punch you can't see.
Yes.
So if you're fundamentally correct in your defense and in the way you're moving and your position in the ring, you cut that shot that you don't see somewhat out of the equation. Don't get me wrong, there's always a chance of being punched, like there's always a chance of being taken.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? But if you can be sound and you understand where you are and you're fundamentally correct, then you halve those chances, or you minimize those chances of being hit. So focusing that sounds really easy to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it don't get me wrong, standing there doing the drills. Yeah, it may be easier. Putting that in live fire is a completely different story. That takes years and years and years, because you're not just going against someone from Burley Pavilion at 2:00
in the morning.
You're going against another trained fighter, another trained killer, another elite athlete who wants to do the exact same thing to you. So, do you know what I mean? It makes it a lot harder.
I can't wait until you guys get to that top level, because I think, without being big noting or anything too much, I think, with your process, you're going to breeze. Well, not breeze, but you're going to do it correctly for the next 3, 4, 5 fights, where you are going to win, and you're going to take out these opponents that pretty much shouldn't be in the ring with you. That's the way.
Well, that's the plan. Like, this next fight I've got coming up, it's against a tough, experienced kickboxer. Okay, so I'm excited for this fight. I really am. I'm really keen to test. I've had a good long thought think about the fight itself and how I see it going. I'm excited to test, because they bring a different look. They bring a different not just energy, but they bring a different mentality. These kickboxers have got a different stance. They've got awkward timing. And I'm excited to show what I can do with that, because it's hard. Those fights aren't always as easy. Sometimes when you've got a very conventional boxer standing in front of you with a high guard, or with a generalized sort of boxing look, it can be easier. Do you know what I mean? When you've got someone who's awkward, you've got someone who throws shots at awkward timing, awkward rhythm, it can be a lot harder. Yeah. So I'm excited to see. I'm excited to show everyone that I'm capable of handling someone like that.
Yeah, that's right. And I didn't mean by any means
I understand what you meant.
To get ahead of where we're going, or where you are going. Sorry, that's me. I'm jumping on the back of it as well. I got my team shirt, so I'm good. I'm on the back of it. But I really want to see, after you test yourself here and all the way, that just those wars up there, because I think those fights that you guys are going to get to in those title fights against other great boxers are going to be epic. Sensational. It's nearly like I can't wait. Yeah. It's like we've just started first season of Game of Thrones, and I want to watch the end series right about now, because I know where your boys' paths are going on. You can see it. If you feel, I watch all your socials and follow it. I can feel it. I can feel what's going to happen, and it's just going to be such a privilege to go along that journey. So, like I said, now let's break it down. You say that you're always in the gym. You're always in the gym. So is this legitimately 7 days a week, 6 days? What's your week usually look like?
Like, to generalise it, so let's say on a Monday morning, I go for a run. I get my run in. In the arvos, whether I've got a strength conditioning session or not to do, I'll do a strength conditioning, and I've got a team training late at night, which is boxing. Same thing then for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I mix out trying to get 2 to 3 strength conditioning sessions in a week, trying to get 2 to 3 runs in a week and a sprint session. And then as many boxing, there's every afternoon there's minimal boxing, and 2 times more a week in the mornings, if possible, if I can. Yeah. So I just train as much as I can. Whether I've got to leave work early, get to work late to train, it all works around training.
So that's you're working out at least 5 hours a day, or 5 hours in the gym.
Some of those sessions aren't as physically draining as what they can be mentally draining. Yeah. So some of those sessions are slow, slow, methodical sessions, and when I'm working on what I need, what I understand, what I need to work on, what my team sees that I need to work on, methodically breaking it down. Why am I doing this? Why am I, 10 mil from where my foot is? Why is my outside foot? I'm really breaking it slow down. The science of boxing. Yeah. And then some of those sessions are tough. Yeah. Some of those sessions are hard, especially like you said, like you're working. You've not just got to, let's say you pump out a hard sprint session, you've just done, 10, 12, 400s. Yeah. And then you've got to go to work for 8 hours. And then you've got a strength conditioning session in the afternoon. And then you've got a boxing session in the afternoon. And that boxing session is, you're doing heavy bag work. You're doing, heavy knit work, or you're doing, it is draining. Your body's sore, and like that's where you just need to have a good team around you. Yeah. Support you sponsor wise, and
to just not tell you to do it, but tap you on the shoulder.
Yeah, I don't need motivation. It's something I don't need. It's something both of me. Like I've noticed, is something me and Lachlan have a lot of differences. Yeah, but we have a lot of similarities, and motivation is something we don't need. Like you don't have to. We are there at the gym every day. We're there before anyone. my whole team's very motivated, but we're there every day. First one's in there, last one's to leave. Like you won't, unless you tell us to leave that gym, we're not leaving that gym.
Yeah.
So motivation's not what I need, but at the end, sometimes having someone there to hold you accountable always does help. No matter what you're doing, no matter how dedicated you are, no matter how talented you are, if you've got a good team behind you, to hold you accountable, because life gets in the way. Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you can sometimes I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like that.
Little man.
I've done enough for the week. I don't have to. But no, you have not done enough for the week. You have not done enough. It's not just the week you're looking at. You're looking at hours.
Yeah.
You're looking at years.
Yeah.
Banked. You haven't done those years, so keep working. Keep working. Whether that's that's hard work, whether that's through thought process, visualization. Keep working. Because you haven't done enough yet. I'm no one yet.
Yeah.
In the eyes of boxing, do you know what I mean? I've got so much to prove.
Yes.
So the sport's all it can take so much from you. You've got to, unless you're working, it's going to take everything from you.
Yeah.
You've got to work to be able to take a little bit from the sport.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. And exactly like that, like speaking of the path and the trajectory that you guys are on, that only happens if this process happens, continues. There is no, like I said, there's no jump to the end and go, all right, give us the fight. There's no Rocky Balboa. Yeah, I'm fighting Apollo Creed straight up. That's not going to happen. No. It's there. It's 2 hours a day thinking about it, and you live and you breathe it. And you can feel it. Everything.
Like even when I'm not in the gym, that's what I'm thinking about. Like not the gym itself, but when I'm not training, I'm thinking about. Like I'll be working. When you get into work, things become second nature, and you can sort of you're present in what you're doing, but you're not mentally present in the task you're completing. That's me constantly. Because I'm always thinking about something in that. I'm always thinking, you dedicate so much to it that it gets to a point that if you don't, like I said, fit in what I'm trying to do, you don't really fit in my life anymore. Yeah. It's as simple as that. It sounds terrible, but that's what you've got to be like, man. Because I'm telling you, if there's 7 other billion people in the world who want that mentality or want what you want, there's only a certain percentage of people who can be elite. And then, through no fault of your own, it might not happen. Oh, for sure, man. And that's what this is. This is the whole reason for any given chance. I've realised that through my life. I don't know how many chances I didn't pull the trigger on, and I kicked myself. It presented it to yourself. Why didn't you just try and fail? Or I don't understand. I just need present me an opportunity, and I'll take it at all will. Yeah, it's funny you actually bring that up. So I heard a quote the other day, and it was, if you think this time feels hard, imagine how hard the regret's going to feel. Yes. And it's so accurate. Yeah. Like you're in, especially when it comes to sports that are dominant in the physical aspect, you have a period of time in your life to be able to be in your prime as such. Correct. To complete this sport at an elite level. I can't get to 50 and decide, all right, now I want to be a professional boxer. You can. You're never going to be a world champion. No. Don't get me wrong, you can always have a crack, jump in the ring if you feel free, but you're not going to be an elite. You're not going to be a household name. They always tell you that. They always say, they'll tell you when it's time to retire, when the kids come knocking. Yeah. When the kids are knocking at your feet, and then you're like, oh, okay. This is, and for me, that's what it was in rugby league as well. And I was only 28, but my body had had enough, and there were the people, I used to win everything. Exactly the same mentality as you. First there, last to leave on the rugby league field. You couldn't get me off. I won everything. If someone beat me the beat test once, I'd run the beat test that night until I beat that time that he ran, and I knew I'd beat him the next time. Yeah. And then that stopped happening. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. This isn't going to continue down. Lost the hunger, or just sort of lost that edge? It was rugby league, very brutal on the body. I had consistent niggling injuries. And I let my ego get in the way on some things as well. So it wasn't panning out for me, and in certain areas where I wanted to go. But I thought my energy and my input and my dedication deserved more. Yeah, and it's hard, man. I made some wrong decisions. You speak to a lot of athletes who have retired, and they reckon that's one of the hardest decisions you make in life is when to give it up. Yeah, and it's sad when you watch an athlete who carries on for that little bit too long, and he sort of doesn't have the light in his career that he should have because he played on for that
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's sad because in your prime, you were,
The man.
unbelievable.
Tom Brady did it last year.
Exactly,
He retired and he's like, no, I want to play. And then he had an okay season.
Yeah.
But it's taken that shimmer off, that walk away.
Oh,
Boom.
Roy Jones Jr.
Yeah.
Look at someone like Roy Jones. Like, you can't tell me there was a better, light heavyweight running around at the time. Freakishly. Skill-wise,
bang.
Yeah, just amazing. But, then carry on too long, came out to Australia, knocked out by Danny Graham, what was it, 1 round or something?
Yeah.
That's something you don't want to see. So, but you need to have a good team around you who you deep down and subconsciously trust.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones, but who also won't. Because when you make it to that level, there's money to be made, and you've got a team, they get money as well.
Yeah.
So you don't want them pushing you on just because they're getting a little bit of a cut. You need someone who's brutally honest with you, but who respects you and loves you as a person to be able to have that conversation.
Well, I think that needs to be devised right now.
Mm-hmm.
So,
100%,
but not even that. Like, if I get to this, and if I have this amount of money on this level, then nothing else matters. Like, a decision can be made after that. If I can have $2,000 a week for the rest of my life, or $1,000 a week, or if we make 500 or 600,000 out of boxing, then no other decision will be made off the basis of money, because I've set my goal when I was this age, and you might be able to move it a little bit along the process, but not at the end.
Yes.
This is my goal. This is what I made, and then that'll hold your whole team accountable, because they'll know that we've already broken the threshold. We've done that, so no decision needs to be made for this. And that could be a reference point to come back to. I've made this in a sane judgment. I've made this plan in a sane judgment, not in 7 years' time once I've got an offer. Because this plan was this safeguard was put in place. But you also see, but just before I move on from that, is I think also along the process, and this is what I found with me, is I never celebrated any of my wins. And I just heard that Israel Adesanya celebrates for a week after every fight or every win. Yeah. He flies to London, he flies to New York, he flies to New Zealand, he flies there, all in like 7 days or something. He did that. Yeah. And he enjoys every single bit of the process of the win.
Yeah.
For me, I never did that.
Yeah, see, I find it hard. He's UFC middleweight champion of the world. I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
If I get to that level, my thought process on, the celebration may change. But at this process, at this time, no. Because this is where I am now is not where I want to be.
Yeah.
Where Israel Adesanya is at the present time, you could arguably say he's one of the greatest middleweights of all time, if not the greatest, with the record he's had and after the win he just had. I'm not at the point I want to be at yet. So I don't find the need to celebrate. Like after my camp, after my fight for the camp I had, my previous fight, first fight, I basically jumped straight back into camp for this fight. So there's no break, because I'm not where I want to be. Yeah. I'll have maybe at the end of the year, might sit down with my family and relax for a week, but even then I'll still be in the gym every day. Might just
that's
cut out a couple of runs, you know what I mean? Because I feel like this is the dream.
Yeah.
I speak to a lot of old, not a lot, but a couple of old fighters who I'm close with and who I have a good relationship with, and they say the thing you miss is this is the dream. What you're doing right now in the gym, that's the dream. That's the lifestyle is the dream. So you got to soak up every single bit of it, whether it's all aspects of the whole lifestyle.
Yeah. So. I say that the one thing that I miss was the team song after, the looking at the hanging out with the boys after or just any sort of process that come with it. And
the game. You miss the game. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's weird, like you said, like I didn't think of it that way either. Like I'm living it now. Like this is the celebration. What I'm doing right now, training and hurting in the gym. Yeah, that's my celebration.
That is the life. Like that's the dream. Yeah. Like the journey itself is the dream. The money stuff, don't get me wrong, it's great. But like you make good money from what you're doing and what you love, it's sick.
Well, you don't work a day in your life.
And then once you finish your sport, you can go do those travels. I haven't traveled around. Yeah. Like I haven't. I see a lot of my friends. They're overseas. They're traveling around and they're doing what they love. Good on them. Like that's what makes them happy. Good on them. I'm stoked for them. I'm happy they're happy. But that doesn't fit in with my dream. That doesn't fit in with my goal, because I want more. Yeah. I want, and I can't get that through going on these 3 week holidays and I can't do that. I can't afford to miss 3 weeks of training.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I'm obsessed in that life. You've got to push me out of the gym. If my team says, mate, I need you to go on a 3 week holiday.
Okay, I'll go train at this gym for 3 weeks, and I'll
Okay.
see you in 3 weeks.
Can I get a trial and training for 3 weeks? You know what I mean? Like I love the process.
I always had that mentality as well. I don't know who instilled that in me, but I always saw if I took 3 weeks off, then that cost me 6 or 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Because not 9 weeks, because I had 3 weeks off, so I went 3 weeks backward. Then I didn't get that 3 weeks in, which I should have been 3 weeks in advance of that, and then I missed that middle 3 weeks. So now I've missed out on 9 weeks. So it's a backward. It's not just a little step. It's a bad
for sure.
for me.
But what I noticed too, especially after leaving time and creating teams, that sometimes that can be at my detriment. Do you know what I mean? Like my diet wasn't. I've always eaten well. I've always eaten clean. I've never had ever since I lost weight. I haven't really been a bad eater, but eating the right amount of foods, the correct foods, the food that's going to help me fuel my training and the lifestyle I live. Because like let's say I am working during the day. I'm training in the morning. I'm training in the afternoon. I'm training at night. You need a lot of fuel, especially if you've got a physically demanding job.
Yes.
To compensate for all that. So I've got a dietitian on board, Nikki from Strong AF. She's amazing. And ever since I've got that on board, man, it's I get my recovery right. Like if I'm having a rest day, it's not me just sitting at home. I'm going to ice bath. I'm going saunas. I'm going to do something that's even just a simple walk on the beach in bare feet. You know what I mean? I'm doing some sort of active recovery. I'm trying to. That's a session. Yeah. Like that's part of the training. And that was what was at my detriment. I thought, if I'm missing a day in the gym or I'm just doing ice bath. Like
if you haven't broken a sweat.
Like it's not like that. You've got to be just as smart up here as what you are, training your body. You know what I mean? So it's a process you learn along the way. Yeah.
Mate, it's amazing to hear coming out of your mouth because I didn't learn that till maybe 30. I didn't understand that till 30, 31, 32, 33. I always had that. You train as hard as you can, you beat the fuck out of everyone you can, you bash and tackle everyone you can, and you lift as hard as you can.
All the time.
All the time.
24/7.
Consistently.
Yeah.
You step into a training session, that's what you did. And then through running, through running, I started to understand, because that was my first run. I boom, out the gates, as hard as I could, run, don't stop, don't be a pussy, don't quit. Yeah. And then once I started getting over distances, I was like, oh, you can't do this.
No, you can't. No.
You got gone, and then you watch other. I did this on the Gold Coast 30, fantastic. First running competition I ever went into, GC 30 kilometre run. Been training, how good's this? And I knew what times I could do, but I seen the pack in front, the 4-minute pack. And I should have been running 4:30s,
Yeah.
And I'm going to run with those blokes, rah. I did it, and then 10K mark, pop. And then I had 20Ks, but I had a little man in my head going, because I was putting it out on social media. This is what I'm doing. I've been training my ass off. I'm going. I have to limp home here. I cannot quit. There's nothing. So cramping everything, limping home, and old ladies running straight past me, and I still see their faces in my head because I made that idiot decision of just go hard. You must go hard. But like you said, with your food, like figuring that out, where I'm at now as well is I'm a little bit more lenient. We go out for lunches and that. It doesn't matter how hard I train. If that food and diet isn't right, doesn't matter what you're doing. You cannot out-train a poor diet.
You can be, let's say, let's look at a day, for example. Let's say training takes up 20% of my day. It's the other 80% that you've got to get right constantly if you want to be at the top. Like if you want to be an elite athlete, it's that other 80%. Like your diet's got to be right. You've got to have the right recovery. You've got to have the right people around you, so you're not mentally stressed. You don't feel a burden. You've got to make life easier and adaptable to your lifestyle. Otherwise, it becomes too difficult. And the other people who are chasing the same goal are maybe doing a bit better. And it might not make a difference over 2 months, 3 months, but over 2, 3, 4, 5 years, it's going to make a difference. It's that's why you see it. You know what I mean? So you've got to think about that longevity.
And then when it shows its ugly head, it might be too late to make a change.
Yeah.
Or maybe not too late, but it's a long process to make that change and go again.
I noticed it. Like I was injured. Like I just come back from injury, and then I'd be training really well, and I'd be feeling really good going to fight, and then suddenly I just have another weird injury like that. What's going on? Like, why am I getting injured all the time? And my coach is not eating enough. I think it was like, wait a bit. But when I broke it down for what I did, I was not eating enough. And ever since then, I don't even have niggling injuries.
Yeah.
You know, which no, touch wood. Like no matter what you do, there's always a chance of an injury. But if I'm implementing the right procedures for that not to happen, I'm cutting my chances of being injured.
Yeah. Mate, I completely agree, because as soon as my diet goes, everything else goes with it. But you also, I find with my work, like the building company's powering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We got a lot of employees, we got a lot of contractors, and building's insane at the moment. It's insane. But that stress that comes with that, and I didn't notice that until I threw a Garmin on, and then I started looking at these. I was like, "What's this one?" And it tells you stress levels, and you should see them through the day. Like some days they're just like going bang, like red line.
Yeah.
And your body doesn't know the difference between physical stress or mental stress. It knows stress. And that's how I end up ripping the bicep off my bone. So I was sitting here stressed out, like work, going crazy and all that. I hadn't surfed in like 3 weeks, and it was pumping. And I was like, nah, I'm going surfing. This is a joke. I don't care. Hung up the phone. I've already had 50 phone calls this morning. Put it on, rang me brother, let's go. First wave, I was actually watching my brother get 3 or 4 amazing, like I was pumping tubes. And I was just like, I'm not in sync. I can't get one. It's like the world knew. First wave, took off, put my hand in the thing, bang, popped.
Straight away.
See you later, gone. So, and I wasn't even training hard. I wasn't. Funny story. Here we go. Ellie Doyle, chime on in. I've got back in. So obviously I put my hand on my board and I paddled in, one arm. Yeah, I got in there. I rang Elle. I was like, Elle, fucking biceps popped off my arm. Like, she's like, what do you mean? You just got there? And I was like, yeah, we got to go to the docs. We got to get it checked out. She's like, oh, okay. Hey, just quickly, how did you get in? I was like, I had to pick my arm up and put it on the front of my board, and then I just paddled in with one arm. And she was like, oh, yeah, okay. Wouldn't you go on in circles?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Paddling one arm, just one-legged ducks, just paddling in circles and that. I was on the ground. I was like, bless your soul, sweetheart. I love you. It made me laugh straight away. So, yeah, but that stress, that your body and that. So, I guess my next question would be to you is, how do you manage that? Are there days that, that little man starts creeping in your head, like, I don't want to fucking do this, and I don't want to get there. Like, how do you overcome it? Or is it just do you own that little man? Do you own that voice so much?
I genuinely do love
easy.
the life that I live.
Yeah.
Like, I genuinely love the life that I live, which makes it a lot easier.
Yeah.
So, I don't normally, like, it's the days, I don't normally have the days I'm like, I don't want to go to training. Some days I wake up and I'm like, this is going to be tough. My body's hurting. My body is hurting. Like yesterday, my body was hurting, and I had a big session. But, like, after the feeling, that you've completed the work that you needed to do, that was minimum, so it is a good feeling. But like I said, I love the lifestyle, so it does make it a lot easier.
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, you always have, like, no matter what you are, like, there's some days when you're getting up at, like, the moment when it's starting to get real cold, and you got to get up at 5 o'clock or 4:30 a.m. You got to go for that 7K run. It's not, it's tough. Like, don't get me wrong, but, like, you think about, you've got to, like you said, cut that little man out. Like, that it's not tolerable. It's not tolerated.
No.
That weakness isn't tolerated. Like, getting into an ice bath, for example. You get into that ice bath and it's 2 or 3 degrees. You're sitting there and you think, fuck this.
What am I doing
in here? Like, but no, it's beneficial.
Yeah.
And that little man, it can't be tolerated. It just cannot be tolerated.
Yeah.
So it's as simple as that. If you don't tolerate it, you sort of get to the point where this is now normality.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? So that you don't let that little man come, and now it's normality.
Yeah.
So you just can't tolerate it.
I've heard 2 perspectives on this, and I'm with you. On the more I tell that voice to shut up, the more I tell him, and just dominate him every day, he just gets quieter and And then it's like up, and I'm like, no, and you know, I'm on top of it. But as soon as I let him back in, he's just like that little bit of creeping, and he gets loud. He never go. I call it my monster. So don't let the monster back in. Don't. But then I've heard other people go welcoming it, like, and then they thank the monster. Like if you're hurting on a marathon run and your body's screaming at you to stop, they thank you for telling me that. Thank you for my body's hurting. It's okay. I understand. I'm listening to you. And they take that approach to it. Yeah, I hear you. I'm not going to stop it. Thank you. Like, and they thank, the little man. Yeah, it's another take on it. No, the moment I heard that, I was like, yeah, no, fuck you.
Don't get me wrong. Like everyone, no matter who you are, I truly believe that everyone's got not doubt, but some sort of hard work's called hard work for a reason. It's not for everyone. It's not easy. So everyone's got that voice who will always, say something. But like I said, it's about making that voice normality.
Yes.
And once it is normality, like it's funny because to form a habit, it definitely takes a minimum of 4 weeks to form a habit.
Yes.
So to break a habit, you could go on your run every morning, or you could do some sort of workout every morning. You could miss one day.
Broken.
That one day, and that habit's broken. You got 4 weeks to build it. So don't miss that day. Don't make it easy for yourself to be able to give up or to not give it a chance.
Yes.
So like continue to do that every day. Make it a lifestyle.
Well, that's exactly right. And you said that with your training. Like even if you got in there and did minimum, it's more about this is the process and this is what happens. So even today, like at the gym, same thing. I'm hurting. My body's inflamed. Everything we did like 21 and a half yesterday at a pretty good clip as well. Yeah. And this morning I got up and I was hurting. Alarm goes off. I probably needed another 4 hours worth of sleep, to be honest. But no, we're going to go through the process. We're going to go there. We're going to pick the weights up. We're going to lift them. We're going to walk upstairs because that's my process. Warm up weights, lift, go upstairs in the box for an hour. Yeah. And we're just going to walk through that process. And I mean, I walked through it this morning, but it happened.
Drag yourself through it, sort of thing.
Now it's not broken yesterday. So I believe in everything you're saying there. Yeah. Stick to the process.
It's all you got to make it. If you want to make it as easy for yourself as possible, make it a lifestyle.
Yes.
Make it so it's compulsory.
Yes.
Every day those fundamentals or that run or whether it's even just surfing, man, make it compulsory. Whether it's going for that walk with a dog, make it compulsory. Mate,
it's weird that you felt because I'm born in the water and like my dad says this to me. He goes, "Why aren't you surfing right now? Like, why aren't you surfing?" And I might go one in every 3 weeks, and he goes, "You can surf. You're one of the better surfers. You're probably in the top. Not to toot my own horn or anything like that, but I've done it since I was 2. I know how to surf." He goes, "Why don't you do that now? You have the skill set." And I don't know. It's just like maybe I need to reintroduce that. Like just start the process again, Matty. I think I'm scared, to be honest.
Why do you reckon?
Because I was good, and I'm not that good anymore, and I'm chasing that form of surf.
Yourself to what you were.
Where in the boxing gym, I love boxing now because I'm not good, and everything I learn is better.
Yeah.
So
you see that improvement. It is hard because you see that. It's actually funny you bring that up because I've seen that plenty of times before, where people compare themselves to what they were prior. It's like that's why I don't like to go into camps and out of camp. That's why I like to continuously stay in the gym. You compare yourself to what you were when you were peaking.
Yes.
Let's say 4 or 5 days before a fight, and you've had 4 weeks off the gym.
Yeah.
Now you come to the gym, you're trying to work at the rate you're working at prior.
You're starting in that negative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I call it 0.0.
Yes.
Here's 0.0. Everything's forward.
You compare. You can't always compare.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've grown in a way that you can't compare yourself to what you were.
No.
You got to compare yourself to being that better to what you were at the start of the session.
Yeah.
Rather than comparing to what you were.
Yeah. But I can do that with everything in my life. I've done it with business, losing, bankruptcy, starting again. I can't seem to do it with surfing. I don't know what it is.
Really?
Maybe I don't know what it is. I just get frustrated. Like,
do you have the love for it? Do you think you have, because you've done it for so long, do you think you still have the passion for it?
When I'm out there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
As soon as I get out there. But now it's a judgmental thing. It's not 4 foot and pumping. No. So I used to love priority. Yeah, I used to love 1 foot slot. Yeah. Now I love 4 foot perfect. That's the difference, I guess, with surfing is I can't just go train and I can't just go do it. I'm relying on other factors, weather and input and that and timing. See, I was like you with surfing. Surf's up, works there. See you later, But we're bound with being surfers. We're bound to the ocean. We're bound to the weather. We're down to reading maps. Yeah.
Sick wave from the coast.
Throw 'em.
Fun one.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, that'd be epic. So yeah, I just don't get that. I understand that process, but for me, it's a bit weird. What I want to move on to now, mate, is what's the plan? Fill us in. Like, are you looking to stay consistently active this year?
Stay active is definitely the plan.
So you've pulled the trigger. I've gone professional.
Yes.
We've waited because you've been in
it
the
was
background.
a process. Yeah. So obviously I moved on. Like I said, with Tom and went to the new team, and I wanted to go pro straight away.
How many years ago was that?
Been there now for 2 years.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go pro straight away. About 2 years been there.
Yeah.
Just about 2.5.
Yeah. And you were ready to. You could have gone pro and had fights.
Yeah. Look, I wanted to. I felt like I was ready at the time. I look back now, and I wasn't ready.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? I definitely wasn't ready. But yeah, like I said, it was a process, a lot of hard work, a few injuries through it also along the way. And then once my team saw the opportunity and they thought that I was adequately enough, or that I was at the point where they were ready to make that step, they took that step, and we're looking to stay active. Obviously, a big fight coming up on the 24th. I want to put on a clinic. I want to be, an educated execution. I want to be touched. I want to show everyone the levels I am above the opposition, because I don't fear any man.
Yeah.
I back myself. And as long as my obviously, my team's going to put the right steps in place to progress my career as it goes, I'm happy to, whoever they put in front of me, I'm happy to fight.
Yes.
So there's not happy, I want to fight.
Yeah.
So stay active, continue to live this lifestyle that I love.
Yeah. So you can, over the next couple of years, we're going to see you grow in the gym and in the fights.
And obviously, like, growing my team, like I said, it does sound like a plug, but having sponsors behind you makes that so much easier, mate. Like, as you know, I'm now, instead of resting or recovering or getting that extra stretching, I'm having to be at work.
Yeah.
Or like I'm having work so I can train. If I can minimize that as much as possible and achieve my goals, or it's just gonna speed up that process.
That's
like
right.
eventually, like you look at all professional athletes, the reason professional athletes don't work.
Yeah.
Because what it takes on the body
is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous. Like you can't, your body can't reach its peak every day if it's doing something else. You need to have 100% focus on the task at hand.
Yeah.
So like sponsors help that, and like being part of the team, coming and watching fights, everyone loves a fight atmosphere. There's nothing better than being around a fight, sitting at a table with, let's say, 10 people, watching, two blokes punch on, watching someone like myself, your sponsored athlete, put on a clinic, cheering, being part of it, seeing the team in the warm up, seeing the team in the warm down, chatting afterwards, like, coming down to the gym.
You've got me buzzing right now.
It's a fucking atmosphere.
Yeah,
awesome.
you just put me there. I was at your fight. I just had.
And you're cheering, you're jumping up. It's a good atmosphere. It's good to be around.
Yes.
It's good to jump on. Support people's journeys and support what people love. And like, if you love the sport, whether you love the sport or don't love the sport, all the help's welcome. All the support's welcome.
Mate. I know Liam Pope pretty well, and give him a big plug. And we just started a GoFundMe for him as well, just so he can get. There's an inching of an American camp, but he's the same. He's got 2 kids. He's in the depths of it. He's working all day. He's training, going all right. He's got I think it's the featherweight Australian title coming up on June 30th. So like 6 days after yours. And then he wants to get to America. But same thing. It doesn't happen, and you don't get the time if 8 hours a day you're going to be chipping. That's 8 hours a day of boxing. And for people like you, it's not. People look at it different ways. They don't understand that mentality. It's not like, they're going to give me that money, so now I can sit home and that. All you do is yes, that's another 8 hours in the gym that I get.
Yes, I'm not absorbing that money to say, thanks, boys, get to go out for tours. No. That money is, all right, awesome. Now I can space my training sessions out a bit more, so I can get up and do my run at 5:30. Now my strength and conditioning is at 12. So I've got adequate time to recover. So I can, instead of putting 80% into that second session, there's 100% into that second session. I can refuel right. I'm ready for that second session. And then I've got enough time to adequately refuel, rehydrate, and get my body prepped for the third session for the day.
Correct.
Do you know what I mean? So now I'm not completing each session at 70%. I'm completing every session at 100%. And the progression, you go leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's second to none. Like, you need that. Like,
it's like you said, and that's being a professional athlete.
It is.
So if you're training at home, I always, 7 days a week. That's my theory.
Mm-hmm.
At 70%, 7 sevens are 49,
Mm-hmm.
rather than 3 10 sessions, 3 harder sessions you can do. That's 30. You're not getting fitter, but that's not professional athletes.
No,
you have to be sport specific, and though you might tick over, but this one has to be the one. And then it's 1 day of, like you said, you're methodical, and this one has to be absolutely everything you've got. And this is with where companies come in, and it doesn't have to be a cloak. Everyone always wants sexy labels, the eyewear or anything like that. The people who believe in you, and it can be building, it can be anything.
Yeah, I'm happy for an awesome family company, local, from around the area. Jump on board, be part, follow me, not just now, but until I'm over in Las Vegas, until I'm, on those big fights, jump on board, because I'm a loyal guy. I'm going to take you guys all the way with me. This is a team. Do you know what I mean? Yes, it's an individual sport, but it takes a team to build that.
You can't do it on your own.
You can't.
There's no way in the world that you could be a world champion on your own.
No, that's not.
It
takes a good team, and you've got to be smart with putting your team on. A lot of people who want to jump on board. Like, I've got this is all I want. So, I'm willing to show you that,
mate. Oh, I hope this podcast goes mental, because I'll be on the back of everyone. I'll just be like, just going, let's go, just let's go. You know what I mean? And that's what this is about. This isn't about making money. This podcast, I don't even know. I don't know how to make money out of a podcast. But there you go. If anyone, I'll grow a team. If anyone out there knows how to make money out of a podcast, get in touch with me. Yeah, but I'd legit wouldn't take any of it. I would feed it to everybody who needs it to go on these journeys, mate. So, wow. So what's after you get into that 24th? Is it just going to be these Jamie Meyer productions, or is there something on the horizon that we can look out for?
Jamie's been great. Jamie's also has been great for us, and we really appreciate his matches and his first line shows, made us regular. I'm not signed with anyone. Do you know what I mean? I'm not signed with the promotion. So what happens after that fight? Again, I'm not looking too far ahead, but whatever happens after that fight, me and my team are open for any opportunities.
Do you know much about the back end, the business stuff, or do you?
I sort of try and stay out of it.
You do.
I've got a pretty smart team behind me. Who understand. I understand the business side of it. Because it's a boxing sport. Like, when you break boxing down, this is going to sound weird, but when you break boxing down, you've got people in a ring. So you've got two fighters in a ring, and on the outside, you've got people who are paid to watch me put detriment onto someone else's health. It's a bit of a weird thought. Like, you could sort of compare people like prostitutes. People pay prostitutes for their body. Essentially, you're paying, people are paying to watch you hurt someone else. So it's a nasty sport. There's a business behind it, and there is a lot of politics behind it. So I try and stay out of that end. I trust the people around me enough to know that they have my best interest at heart. To focus on those avenues when all I focus on is training. I've got to win fights. Those business sides of things don't matter. No. Do not matter at all unless I'm winning fights.
That's right.
So as long as I'm putting myself in that position, I'll let other people handle it.
Yeah, I like that. I like that whole, just not stay in your lane, but this is my job. That's your job. You do your job.
But you've got to trust the people, obviously, of course, to do that job. So that's, like I said, it's about having a good team behind you.
And that's it. And when you do, and when you have that belief, or like, say we were coming on as a sponsor, and that that money's going to be there every week, that $300 to $500, guaranteed. It's not going to be late. It's not going to be here. This guy handling this place, with everything in your heart. It's like having a good wife, a good partner. There's 100% trust. There is nothing better than not carrying around that guilt, or if you're an arsehole, or she's or that wonder what she's doing, or anything like that in a relationship. As soon as you meet someone, and I have that with Elle, like, it's just, there's no outside thought or anything like that. I love it.
It's good, man, because it benefits both parties. It's the best. Do you know what I mean? Like, we'll go back to the sponsor thing. Like, with the sponsors, like, it's all tax deductible. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So it benefits them. Like, they get advertising from it too. Like, again, they're not putting it as, like, I'm not putting it as much as what they're putting it for me. Like, they're helping me with my journey. Yes. But also, like, there's things I can do to help them with their journey, their business, to grow. So it's not like you're doing everything for me. No, we're working together, bro. Yeah. Like, this is a team. Like
Yeah.
you said, it's the team mentality. This is
Yeah.
what we're
And if
fucking
you want to be involved with something that I represent, which is hard work, dedication, and that straight line and success, come on board.
jump on board.
Jump on board.
Come watch the
Yeah.
train.
Yeah.
Come down. Like be a part of it.
Yeah.
Come do it for your
It's that
kids.
it's that those the big sponsors who come in and then hey, what are you doing? Don't do it like that. We're out at the start. No, if you're one of those blokes, stay at home, man. So
Don't manage the train.
no.
Sorry like that.
Yeah, how funny is that? I've seen that so many times. Like there was I'm not going to name names, but there was a sponsor who came on with one of our footy teams, and he started having halftime speeches at halftime while the coach was in dressing it, and he just looked over on one of them and gone, "What the fuck?" And we're all like, we still tell stories about it today. Like it's just like some cringe. Like I know what he was trying to do, you know what I mean, but because he bought into it, he thought he had that's not it.
It doesn't work like that.
No,
bro.
it doesn't
We
work.
appreciate you, but
That's your
stay
job.
in your lane.
Your job. Enjoy the process. Come on board with us, mate. All right, well, mate, we're rounding over an hour, so I really want to get you back on in this journey, and this is what, instead of us sitting here and pulling your whole life apart, I want to do like 3 or 4 or 5 podcasts. Tap back in 6 months. Let's have a look at your photos, and I mean, all this stuff that we get off here now, we can create content, put it out there as much as you want. So, also for all you guys listening. Of course, Monday night's our live premiere on YouTube, but you can listen to all this on Spotify, Apple, Google Play. That's Joshua Nantes' interview, but all the content that we'll create, and you're going to give us some of your content as well, so we blend it in. You can see who he is. You can see who he is outside of this mic and this podcast. You can see what he does, his art form, his fights, his training, everything like that. So, and once again, I'm going to give it a plug right now. If anybody's out there, just get in touch, get in the DMs. If you think you want to come down, come meet him, come shake hands, and get on the back of this. There's nothing better, you know what I mean, than supporting someone like yourself.
Jumping on, not just jumping on my journey, jumping on the journey together.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a team.
It is.
Let's build it.
Mate, stoked. Actually, before I shake you in, what have I got for you? Oh, stay here. That's right. Everyone gets a ribeye steak, brah.
Oh, yeah.
Mate, you'll have a training session and a half after this one. Nothing but protein. Look at that one for the boys, eh? If anyone doesn't know, I love cooking. I love smoking. I love cooking steak. I love everything like
that. My favourite part about finding.
Man, this is my downtime as well. I love, this is my relaxation. Give it a little bit of the Salt Bay first. Give a sprinkle.
I've never had too much salt in steak.
Never. Look at that. And now, man, that's how you end the podcast.
Very sharp,
Mate, fucking stoked.